raping innocent people, have been a harm to our country. I want to sit down and hear the plan on how we're going to address them. Those are the people I am talking about, and I would love to sit down with the board of czar and hear his thoughts on how we're going to address those who are harming our citizens.
You're open to that?
Open to
hearing what their plan is to deport some of these folks, and you think the city, in some circumstances, should cooperate with ICE?
Let me, you know what's interesting? And I was talking to the team the other day. I want you to all go back and Google Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. Google what they said about those who commit crimes in our city and what they said in our country. They said those who commit crimes need to get out right away. That was their position. So this is not a new position, because in the state of in the era of cancel culture, no one's afraid to be honest about the truth. Well, cancel me, because I'm going to protect the people of this city. And if you come into this country, in this city, and think you're going to harm innocent New Yorkers and innocent migrants and asylum seekers, this is not the mayor you want to be in the city under.
Let's go. Let's get it. All right. We in the building. We are in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody, come on up in this room. We are in the building. What's going on with y'all, man? What is going on with the fam? I'm here. Some of y'all probably thought I wasn't going to come on live, but I'm here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm in the building. Let me get a nice FBA fist from everybody. Even if you're non-FBA, put a little Joel off in the air, put some rice, put a rice emoji. If you're non-FBA, give me a Joel off rice emoji. But we're here. Shout out to everybody for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we got some real good stuff we're going to chop it up tonight about. Before we get started, let me give some shout outs in the room. Let me give some room shout outs because we do have a lot of people in the room right now. Let me shout out to some of the regulars. Let me do that real quick. And then, you know what? I might throw the Majara prayer in there just to get the room right, just to get the energy right. But let me shout out some of the people in the room. I got to do that. Some of the regulars. Just got to give the regulars some love. Let me scroll down. I see a lot of new faces. Shout out to some of the new people in here, but let me shout out the regulars, the ones who are here almost every night. Let's see, just me in the building, Renee in the building, Seneca, Brother Joel C, more melanin in the building, Seven in the building, Nick in the building. Let's see, Ani Asaru in the building, Brother Marak, Ellie 206. Who's this brother here? Let me see. Hoodoo in the building, Nikki the God, of course, Sophia in the building, Israelite, and Diavion. All right. Man, we got a lot to talk about. But you know what? Before we get started, let me give the Majara prayer real quick so I can get the energy right in the room. Let me do the Majara prayer. We got 400 people within the first 30 seconds, so it's looking good. It's gonna be a lot of people in the building tonight. So let me give a quick Majara prayer so that we can have the room right. Everybody, um, bow your virtual heads. We're going to give the FBA Majara prayer. Most High, Creator of all, we honor the Majara spirit within us. Our ancestral power flows through our veins, guiding us with wisdom and strength. May we walk with the grace of our ancestors, those who have come before us, and honor their sacrifices. Let the energy of Majara protect us from harm, uplift our spirits, and guide us towards our true purpose. With every step, may we embrace the sacred power within, the spirit that has carried us through trials and tribulations. We ask for clarity, strength, and peace as we live with purpose, rooted in our divine heritage. Through the Majara spirit, we are connected, we are whole, we are powerful. Everybody give me an amen, ladies and gentlemen. Amen. Yes, indeed. I feel the energy. I feel the spirit. A lot of we got to talk about it. I want y'all to chime in on this. Eric Adams in New York. Mayor Eric Adams. He did a press conference earlier talking about the migrant situation in New York. Now, Eric Adams, for those who don't know, he's a Democrat mayor. For a long time, he was towing the line for the Democrats, um, using New York as a semi-sanctuary city, really stumping hard for the immigrants, doing his bidding for the Democrats, talking about providing resources for all of the illegals and yada yada yada. So he was doing that. He was playing his position. A lot of us on the grassroots were very critical of him for doing that, and others. And while he toed the line for the Democrats flipped on him, did some kind of weird investigation and put him under charges. They put some charges on him, some fraud charges or whatever. They do the I'm white and I say so. So the Democrats turned on him, which is what they do to a lot of black elected officials. They use them as sacrificial lambs. So, they turned on him while he was in office, put charges on him while he was a still sitting mayor. So now he's kind of flipping on the Democrats. He said earlier that when Trump and his folks come through rounding up the illegals, he's gonna help them. He's down with it. He wants them up out of there. All of the illegals who's committing crimes, it's time to go. So he done a 360, a 180 rather. He's done a 180. He's turned, and I personally think yes, that's a good thing. Yes, he flipped on the Democrats, and I love it. And I know he's playing politics. I understand what it is. Sounds like, he's trying to get in good with the Trump administration so they can possibly give him a pardon later on down the line, which is cool. Let's play the game. Play the game. That's what politics are about, playing that game. But I'm personally glad he flipped. The Democrats, man, are so damn devious. They've been doing devious ass stuff to us, Foundation of Black Americans, for way too long. And we've sat here still being loyal to them, which we don't need to be. The Democrats, they have done foundational Black Americans dirty, ladies and gentlemen. And we just have to admit that. A lot of us don't want to admit that because we like to keep voting out of loyalty. Remember, Puffy was towing the line for the Democrats. All that vote or die stuff, that was for the Democrats. Diddy was towing the line for the Democrats for the longest. They flipped on him and, they put them charges on him. These were like Democratic folks putting these charges on Diddy. So we got to understand how devious these people are. They've always done stuff like that. These folks ain't got no loyalty to us. I want us to understand that part of the game, man. We've given way too much leeway to the Democrats, and they have been just not just benign neglecting us, but they've just been mean spirited. They've been very abusive towards us, and we don't have to go for that. Let me get Average Black in the building because I want people to chime in on this. Average, hop in, brother. Average, hop in.
Yes, sir. You know what? You brought up something I pressed
I,
request because, like, you bring
oh,
up a
I
good
can't hear
point.
you. I can't hear you, brother.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Now we can hear you. We can hear you now. Go ahead.
Oh, beautiful. You brought up a great point, so I hopped in because, it's amazing. They can come up with charges against, their own people, basically. They can come up with charges with Puffy, somebody who's a giant like that. Hell, Eric Adams is a Democratic mayor. They come up with charges, but for some reason, they can't seem to hold police accountable. They
Right.
can't seem to hold people in democratically ran cities, can't hold these cats accountable. I mean, and everybody's a Democrat up on down, city council, mayor, all of that. They can't seemingly hold these cats accountable, but they can do it to a mayor. So, and then also too, something you brought up, I thought about with the Democrats. Um, these cats are trying to undermine Black Americans who've been incredibly loyal and replace us. Why would you replace a loyal voter base? and piss them off. Why would you do that? That's really strategically ignorant. But yet they continually go with that full bore. That lets you see just how devious and white supremacist their leanings is to try to get rid of us simply because they don't want to give something to Black Americans. I land my plane there.
Thank you. And Average reminded me of something too. Biden, did y'all know that on his way out the door, they announced that they got some type of financial initiative for um, Latino, from Hispanic institutions. They got some for that. They got some resources for that. Also, Biden, they're talking about giving some resources over in Africa, talking about doing some kind of investing in Africa. So they're just going out the door saying, hey, F y'all all the way. Y'all made us lose, so we're gonna really rub in the damn disdain that we have for y'all over there. So yeah, man, we should have let them crash and burn a long time ago. They're making sure to do everything for other groups except us, and that's done on purpose. That's done to show us how much they despise us. And you got Black folks still sitting up here trying to toe the line for the Democrats. A significant number of us um, fell back from supporting them and made them crash and burn. All of us should have fell back. You know what I'm saying? All of us should have fell back. There's nothing good about the Democrats at this juncture. There's nothing good about them. Aeronomic. Well, no, let me get Kimla Black. Kimla Black was making noise over here. Kimla, what's happening?
Yeah, how you doing, man? Thanks for having me. I'll make it real quick. I totally agree. I mean, I used to live in New York, and I totally agree. I think Mayor Adams. I agree what he's doing. I think he's going to be fine. He's doing what's best for him. You have to ditch the Democrats. The Democrats are pretty much satanic, and I really, really hope he gets pardoned by Trump. I just want to ask you another question. Have you seen the Netflix TV show Madness? Everyone is talking about it. So what do you think about it?
I haven't heard, I haven't seen it. What's it about?
It's about the black guy Domingo, the very popular black artist. It has to be about some FBI. It's a heavy black cast.
Okay,
I don't
you
think.
know what? I
I,
gotta see. I don't tell me the plot because I heard
okay, I won't do that.
about it, so I've heard kind of mixed reviews. I'm gonna watch it and then give my assessment on it because you're the second person who asked me about that. So I'm gonna look into the show. And that's another thing. The Domingo guy, that actor, he's non-FBA. And if you notice, a lot of these films that have black cast, they're going out of their way. I mean, just blatantly going out of their way to hire non-FBA actors and actresses. That's done by design. They're going out of their way to do that. So yeah, the great replacement theory is very, very real. Like Average said, why would you want to replace a loyal voter base? Because, and the reason why, we're going to get into their mindset. The reason why they want to do that is because that voter base, we've been so loyal, we've been loyal to a damn fault. And the Democrats understand sooner or later, they're going to want something for that loyalty, which is true. Sooner or later, they knew what was going to go down. Sooner or later, they're like, wait a minute, these Negroes, this benign neglect thing we've been doing on their asses, that can only last so long. That's going to run out. And we're going to try to replace as many of them as we can before they start saying, hey, wait a minute, before they start waking up saying, hey, wait a minute. We need to get something. We've been way too loyal, way too long, and you guys are prioritizing everybody and everything over us. So it's now time to prioritize us. And now they just crash out, which is good. Crash the hell on out. This has to be a new norm where we specifically stomp for tangibles for our ethnic group, ladies and gentlemen. That has to be the new norm. Let's get aeronomics in the building. Aeronomics.
Oh, hey, what's up? Thanks for letting me speak. I was just gonna say, I think it's important that people know like what the literal charges for Eric Adams are and like how BS they are compared to like what all these other politicians are doing. So he literally, I think, was like charged with taking like hundreds of thousands, like $100,000 of gifts over like a 10-year period,
Right.
which like you can interpret that in many ways. Like, oh, you went out to dinner with somebody, that's a gift. Some of those dinners in New York can be very expensive. And you compare that to like Nancy Pelosi has literally been insider trading hundreds of millions of dollars she's doing, and nothing for her. And so it's like it just shows you how dirty the Democrats are. And that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, man, very good point. They pull the old "I'm white and I say so" when it comes to black people they want to charge. Black people do something, you do something like just go on a business lunch, and they say, "Oop, that was a bribe, actually. That wasn't no business lunch." So when a lot of our people are being attacked by the dominant society, even if we have somewhat some disagreements with them, I really don't co-sign that. Even with the Diddy thing, to be honest, with the Diddy thing, I'm not co-signing that stuff that they're doing to Diddy because nobody can really specify what exactly Diddy did that was illegal. They're being very vague about everything. They can't specify what, to this day, nobody has actually said what Diddy did that was actually illegal. They just throw out these words that can be misinterpreted or reinterpreted. They just say, well, it was trafficking. What do you mean trafficking? Trafficking is when you are um, getting people and forcing them into selling sex and you're getting the profits from that. Diddy wasn't doing that. So what do you mean trafficking? You know what I'm saying? So we can't co-sign everything that these people say because they'll get certain laws and then I'm white and I say so the laws and then bastardize the laws, and that's not no real justice. I can't co-sign that because they'll use it on all of us, especially with the law that they're using for Diddy. That law was designed specifically for black men. That Man Act that they're putting on Diddy, that's the Man Act that they have on Diddy. They use that on R. Kelly too. That law was used. It was basically an "I'm white and I say so" law. That was used to get Jack Johnson because Jack Johnson was making all that money and had all them white women choosing up on him. So he took some white women or white woman across state lines, and they were like, "Oops, that's now a crime. You took a person across state lines for immoral purposes." That can be reinterpreted or misinterpreted a million different ways. You see? So we can't co-sign everything. Let's get RH R Hamp.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. How are you?
How are you, Tyreek?
Good. What's going on, beloved?
Oh my gosh, I am up right now. I had to listen. It's a work night for me. I gotta be at work at 6 o'clock in the morning. But anyway, I am hearing your broadcast. Love you, brother. I've been following you for about 15 years.
Love it.
So I really love you. You're a great guy. But anyway, I wanted to say with Eric Adams, what the hell what's his name doing in Chicago? I don't understand why Brandon Johnson ain't following the same lead as Eric Adams.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, Brandon Johnson is going to take a main fall from the Democratic Party. They're going to turn their back on him, and then he's going to be the one holding. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Guy family in Chicago, and they're talking about him. They say he said they had their meetings, but he just ignore them, just stares at them,
Wow.
won't interact with them. They argue with him at their city council. He just won't say nothing, just stares at them like he's a never mind. I ain't gonna say the word with the R word, but
Oh,
he's just ridiculous.
yeah. And the people up there in Chicago, they are going to those city council meetings clowning the hell out of that dude, man. They can't stand him. They clown him, and he's just sitting up there going against the will of the people, and they're just not going for it. We got a Chicago brother in here, Jamal Green. Jamal, what's up, brother?
What's up, man? How you doing? How you doing?
I'm good, man. What's going on out there in Chi-Town, brother?
Man, once I heard Brandon Johnson name, I'm like, man, let me tell y'all what's really going on.
Yeah. Uh,
Brandon Johnson, they actually just moved forward a poll to show that he has a 14% approval rating last week. And, it is due to what he has done, with the migrant crisis. And I think that people got to know Brandon Johnson is not from Chicago. He's from Elgin, and he is also, he's also Haitian as well.
oh,
And
I didn't know
yeah,
that. I didn't